guys, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for Monday the 16th of November, going through until Sunday the 22nd of November 2020. Thanks for joining me. It's really nice to be with you today to give you this rundown of the coming week. I've had a look at what's going on with the planets, and it's not the easiest week in the world. I really picked up that there are major shifts in the energy, so we've got these major emotional waves going on, and because things are so changeable, just you kind of trying to keep up with all of that may trigger some moods or some kind of mood swings. And the best way to focus this week is to really ask yourself, how can I improve my skills in some sort of practical way? So if you're working, how can I learn something new or improve my kind of expertise in this area? If you're retired and you're working on something, what can I learn to improve what I'm doing here? Or if you're looking for work, or if you're looking to learn anything that you can apply, it's really a good week to choose an area of focus like that, because the energy is kind of humble. It's saying, rather than kind of, delve inside of yourself all week and go on this emotional ride, ask yourself, how can I be useful and how can I get better at what I love to do and what I love to work with, and how can I reach the next level of expertise? So I'm going to go through each day to see what's coming up. Remember, my horoscopes are based on UK time. Don't get too hung up on the timings, but I do mention the actual time, so just take the time difference into account if you're not in the United Kingdom. Monday the 16th of November, we've got the moon in Sagittarius, so the way you feel is in the optimistic fire sign of Sagittarius. That's really good, and it forms a harmonious relationship with Mars, the soldier planet, the god Ares, the god of war in mythology. And Mars is in the sign of Aries, the sign that it rules. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so Mars is really, really happy there. And we've got loads of fire in the chart, so that immediately stokes you and your energy levels and your motivation. Oh, and Mars is direct. Mars is a personal planet, and there are three personal planets. So we've got Mercury, the communication planet, Venus, planet of love, beauty, and romance, and then Mars, motivation and drive. And when any of the personal planets are in retrograde, you really feel the difference. So when Mercury is in retrograde, communication becomes more difficult. Venus, starting things that you love, are a little bit stifled. And with Mars in retrograde, motivation can often be an issue. So with all this fire in your chart here on Monday, motivation is not going to be an issue. You'll have loads and loads of energy. The Sagittarius moon squares the water planet Neptune in Pisces, which is very much about sitting back and contemplating and receiving messages. So they're at odds with one another, because the moon inside says, let's go. And Neptune in Pisces says, hang on a minute, let's reflect. And the moon also sextiles Venus in Libra. So I love to expand. I like to make my life bigger. So there's a great sense of optimism there. Then on Monday as well, we've got Venus in Libra squaring Jupiter in Capricorn. And that's a really nice placement. That's the love planet connecting with the planet of good luck and good fortune. In Libra, Venus rules Libra, so that's very happy, and it's able to reach out to other people and other things and places. And Jupiter in Capricorn means that if you kind of get down to business, and if you roll up your sleeves a little bit and get busy with things and you get hands-on, then that's how you activate this good luck, and that's what's going to connect you to other people or new opportunities. So there's really a lot of good that you can get out of Monday. The main thing to know is that you start the week with this huge amount of enthusiasm and motivation because of those fire planets. Like I said, Mars was retrograde until the 14th. It's now moving ahead for the rest of the year, so no more problems with Mars. You may be more interested in taking action, sports, and making progress than continuing to analyze your feelings the way you did the day before. We had a new moon in Scorpio on Sunday the 15th, and that was a really good opportunity to connect with yourself. And in fact, I made a video on the new moon in Scorpio, and I went into a lot of detail about it. So if you're interested in that, have a look. It's on the 15th of November. And it's something that you can really, really tap into on the 14th, 15th, and 16th. And it's really amazing. If you have problems loving yourself or accepting yourself, have a look at that video. It's really an opportunity to just start over and to embrace yourself and say, hey, do you know what? It's okay. We can do this. Also, on Monday the 16th, there may be great luck in relationships or finances for you today, and that's as a result of the Venus-Jupiter square, because that doesn't happen very often. Jupiter's an outer planet, good luck. It moves very slowly, and Venus is a personal planet, so they don't interact all the time, and when they do, big things happen. So really see what you can connect with on Monday. That's really important, to put your feelers out, because these great things can come into your life. Tuesday the 17th of November, the moon moves into Capricorn at 4:36 in the afternoon. So the moon in Capricorn is much more serious than the moon in Sagittarius, because it's about sorting out your structures in life. It's like the tower in the tarot, in a sense that you've ignored the tower blowing up, you've cleared all the rubble, and it's now rebuilding the tower. It's about asking yourself, what structures can I put into my life, and what can I rely on, and what gives me security, and what are my responsibilities? Those become very important to you on Tuesday. The Capricorn moon then forms a trine with Uranus in Taurus. So we've got Capricorn Earth, Uranus the chaos planet in Taurus, also Earth. So practical things are kind of up in the air. And the Capricorn moon also squares Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries. So taking action may have results that are really hard to predict, and also there could be results which you don't particularly enjoy and which you didn't predict happening, so the unexpected. Mercury's in Scorpio, so very in touch with your feelings. That opposes Uranus in Taurus. Again, it doesn't make you very chilled out and saying, oh, you know, it is what it is, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, peace and love. No, you're more like, I want this, and why is it not going my way? So take a breath on Tuesday. Try not to get overly frustrated if certain details don't go exactly as planned. The whole thing about Tuesday, I mean, Monday is amazing, right? You start motivated and it's fun, and what am I going to do? Tuesday is the first kind of change that we run into, because it really is a challenging energy. You may feel conflicted on Tuesday. Do you listen to yourself and what you've been doing over the last couple of days and honoring your feelings? Or do you comply with what other people want, especially in work? So do you go into the office and just keep your head down despite difficult circumstances, and you try not to make any waves? I mean, only you can decide that. No one can say it's right for you to assert yourself in a certain situation, and no one can say it's wrong for you to assert yourself in a certain situation and to follow your own needs. Think of a waiter. If a waiter is going to serve all these people, sooner or later he's going to have a customer that's kind of rude, and he can either say, okay, I'm going to be completely 100% authentic and honest here and say, I don't like the way you speak to me, get out of my restaurant. And then he's going to have to explain that to the manager, and then his job is going to be at risk, and etc., etc. If he just keeps his head down and says, yes sir, thank you very much, okay, here's your bill, then that may go away in a real practical sense, but internally the waiter may feel like, you know what, why do I always have to swallow all of this? Why can't I stand up to people? And it may become a problem for you if you feel like you're not being authentic with yourself on Tuesday. So really don't feel the pressure of what other people will think, or what the right thing is, or what you should be doing. It's really about you and your feelings, and making your circumstances as palatable and as manageable for yourself as possible on Tuesday. The problem is that if you're uncertain about how to act on Tuesday, while you're kind of processing things, taking no action in itself is an action on Tuesday. And if you don't act, or if you fail to act as far as you're concerned, then you may go after yourself and kind of hound yourself. Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I stand up for myself? Take it really, really easy on yourself on Tuesday. It's difficult to suss out what is 100% exactly right. And the Capricorn energy is kind of demanding perfection of you. And it isn't crystal clear. It is kind of foggy. So you can't attain you can't attain perfection 100%, you never can, but the perception also isn't 100%. So if you don't see everything clearly, and if you can't get things 100% right, then the expectation to do that is just setting you up to have a hard day. So give yourself a break, do your best, and amend the things that don't work, and that's the end of it. Yeah. Wednesday the 18th of November, we've got the moon in Capricorn still. And it trines Uranus and Taurus, so all of this Earth is still there. So Tuesday, Wednesday are really practical days where you can make changes. The Capricorn moon urges you to take things seriously, to focus on work. And with the Uranus trine, that can really have miraculous outcomes for your working life. The sextile with Mercury in Scorpio, the communication planet, really connects you with your feelings, and that kind of keeps you in the same periphery as the waiter from the day before. Do I listen to what I'm feeling, or do I just kind of bite my lip and get on with it? Which is never a nice place to be, is it? It's not fun. So just give yourself a break for being in that situation to begin with. And it also sextiles Neptune and Pisces. So the clarity gets even less, and your perception of things may be really, really subjective on Wednesday. The Capricorn moon also squares Mars and Aries, so there's friction between this desire to work and to be practical and the desire to really move forward. So you become really, really ambitious here, and it conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn. So your ambition can really transform your circumstances and your work. The Sun is in Scorpio, again, connecting you to the most hidden feelings. So don't be surprised if things that you haven't thought about in years suddenly rise up to the surface. It's like, oh, hello, thanks for that. Glad I remembered that one. And it's sextile Saturn in Capricorn. So Saturn is kind of rigid, and it says, let's examine this, shall we? And if the Sun in Scorpio with the sextile in Saturn in Capricorn, you can put a lot of pressure on yourself and say things like, oh, well, it didn't work in the past. Why do you think it'll work now? Really productive. Well, and if that happens, challenge that and say, well, I think it'll work now because I've actually studied since the last attempt and I feel much more skilled. Remember, that's the main thing of the week, that you can really improve. And those kind of negative thoughts, you can transform them into fuel to motivate your studies or to practice your craft and to hone your skills even more. So on Wednesday, it's really important to use the Saturn energy to be rigid about your perspective on things and to keep it positive and to say, I can, I will, I can. All of that combines to really give you a leg up when it comes to your work, and it's really, really likely that work, and especially your hard work, pays off. So make an effort to really be as present and to engage with your work as much as you can. And that applies to students and retired people and people who do work. Everyone on the planet is working on something. You know, if you're working on your garden or if you're working in aerospace, everyone's working on something. And the reason I'm telling you to really engage with that is because you're going to gain these amazing new insights on Wednesday, the 18th of November. And those insights can take your work and your career to the next level. So, you know, if you are working in aerospace and all the other engineers miss the little chip on the engine, but you see it because you're paying attention, then the guy you're working for is going to say, she's got a really good eye. Let's help her progress in this career because she's good. She saw this and the 9 other people didn't. So it's about really applying yourself. You're doing really well. So with that said, it's a great day to try out new skills and to try your hand at something new. Also, things like job interviews, new relationships, or the first day at a new job or in a new living situation. All of those things can be profoundly life-altering, and they're likely to be life-altering because those kind of things are likely on Wednesday to add more security, stability, and comfort to your life. Reach out and take risks that can benefit you. So if there is a potential payout or payoff for you, then if there is a chance that it can work, pursue it, because the universe we live in my experience, rewards people who take risks. This isn't a planet for people who are just about maintaining what is. Everything changes every second of every moment of every blink. Everything changes all the time. So if you want to go with that, and if you want to be in the flow of the universe, and if you want to make the most of this, then don't resist that and be willing to change along with your energy, your skills, your interests, all of the things I'm talking about here until Wednesday. But you can see that this isn't like oh, it's a great day to read a book and to relax. It's a little bit more complicated, so you do have to engage with things a bit more to maintain a positive perspective and frame of mind, which is really, really important this week. To kind of be disciplined about, okay, I may not feel 100% great, but I can still do this and be really creative or productive and make an amazing contribution. Thursday, the 19th of November, we've got the moon going into Aquarius at 8:26 in the evening. So that really lifts things. Aquarius is an air sign. It's about being of service to other people, being a humanitarian, doing good deeds, being selfless, and articulating your ideas and your thoughts. The moon then sextiles Chiron in Aries. So it's really important to think about other people as well as yourself on Thursday. Venus in Libra opens the door for you to have wonderful connections with people and places and things, but it squares Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn is like the head teacher. It says, okay, let's check your homework. What are you doing? Uh-oh, bad girl. Let's make things difficult. Oh, you're doing really well? Great, let's support that. So Saturn is kind of you being scrutinized, as someone kind of looking over your shoulder and saying, what are you actually doing here? And it may not feel very pleasant, but everyone needs to be checked, right? Everyone needs quality control. Everyone needs to be talking to someone who knows about what they're doing so they can check that they're not making mistakes and that they're on the right track. So it's a good day to really check in with someone you respect. If you struggle with criticism or taking constructive criticism, it's really important that you engage with that on Thursday. First of all, it's going to feel less painful and difficult to take. And second of all, it's an important thing that all of us need to listen to so that we can improve and hone our skills and move on in our careers and our jobs to get better. Yeah, it's a kind of training, isn't it? And if someone sees you working, they're going to have an amazing insight about the way you work and what you're really skilled in. So be aware of that. And if you do get criticism on Thursday, just don't dismiss it straight away and say, hey, maybe there is actually something to this, even though Steve from the next cubicle is not my favorite person, whatever, So Thursday with that, and we've got the Sun in Scorpio forming a sextile with Saturn in Capricorn. So the Sun's your identity and your feelings, and that also is in the purview of Saturn. So even you are under scrutiny, or you may feel like, I'm being watched here. So it's interesting. Monday, really up. Tuesday, a challenge. Wednesday, your hard work pays off and you're really able to do things. And then Thursday, again, you have to kind of exercise a little bit more self-discipline because you may feel a little less than empowered on Thursday. Because you're being scrutinized, you may equate your own value with what you do for other people, with the moon being in Aquarius. And with all of that and all the busyness, you may ignore yourself and your own needs. What you usually love to do or engage with, that may also feel like it's being observed and being judged. And because of that, it may feel less enjoyable than usual. So don't freak and say, oh my God, my favorite hobby, why am I not enjoying this today? Am I terribly depressed? Is something wrong? No, it just means that the energy on Thursday is a little bit more challenging and everything is just being watched. It's kind of like being on Big Brother. I mean, some people enjoy that, I suppose, but most people don't like everything they do being picked apart. Even though it is helpful to review things and to analyze and to check, it's not the most enjoyable process. I mean, I think we all get that. The other thing is that if you experience disappointment on Thursday, you may take that much more seriously and you may experience much more deeply than usual. And it may even trigger unresolved issues from your past. And that's a different kind of scrutiny because the upset emotions then give you a clarity of, oh, I'm really upset about this because I'm still traumatized from what happened when I was 7. And I understand that now. So you can actually do something about it on Thursday. So again, not the funnest thing to do, but really something that's super liberating. And if you do the work on Thursday, it can set you free for the rest of your life. And I know that's a big statement, but if you have unresolved trauma or issues from the past which keep coming up in the here and now, then that's a sign that those things are still playing on your mind and they still have power over you and they're still affecting your day-to-day experience. And it's important that you free yourself of those things so that you get your choice back. And you can choose what you decide to devote yourself to and what you don't, rather than being triggered by external things that you have no control over. So the best way to transform the energy is to kind of be willing to see what you're being shown and to work with it, or to keep working on your interests and improving your skill levels by practicing, by working, by teaching, by allowing a mentor to come into your life and to guide you, anything like that. On Friday, the 20th of November, the Aquarius moon now forms a positive sextile with Mars in Aries. So that's interesting because the Aquarius moon is very selfless, but that energy is now being supported by the soldier, and the Aquarius moon also sextiles Chiron in Aries. So it's kind of telling you, hey, you're the one who can really help other people. You're the one who can really speak up and be heard. Do that. It's fun. It's exciting. So you may feel a little bit more willing to connect with people in a public way. If you're a natural extrovert, you'll find that it's really, really fun to perform or to be on stage or to be seen and to be heard. If you're an introvert, you'll find that it's a lot easier for you to get your point across without becoming really nervous. The Aquarius moon also squares Uranus and Taurus, so your words can have really unexpected results, and Mercury in Scorpio. So it's also very likely that you're going to speak the truth and that you're going to say something which really either stems from an internal truth, something that you've learned in your life and that you feel is important to share. And I mean, that's the main reason to communicate, isn't it? If you feel like, hey, I need to say this, and you say it. If it doesn't matter, then you're just going to be quiet. So you really feel that you have something to offer, and that's why it's a lot easier, because you want to engage with other people. So Friday is a fabulous day for public announcements. You're able to reach a great number of people, and you're able to articulate, unlike me, you're able to articulate yourself very, very well. That's the Aquarius and the Mars energy, so the words will just flow out of your mouth. If you struggle with receiving loads of attention, this is your friend, okay? Friday the 20th of November is your friend. You may also notice something about your work or your finances that you were unaware of in the past, and you may want to make changes as a result of this insight and realization. But take time to plan the changes. Don't react in the moment, and especially don't overreact. So if you realize that you've been doing the books for the last 6 months, and there's this whole other expense world that you've totally not been informed about, and you have to redo all the books, and it's like, the last few months of work have been made inaccurate because of this, then don't immediately go with your instant gut and say, I'm going to throw these off the table and to end this job and whatever. Take a breath. Ask yourself, okay, what am I going to do about this? Am I going to fix it and stay with this and make it right? Or am I going to throw in the towel and give up? It's not the best time, though, to make the big change. So I would take Friday to digest information that is unwelcome or unpleasant, and to maybe even sleep on it and then make a decision the next day. Because on Saturday the 21st, things lift again. So it's like every other day this week. Friday, challenging in terms of getting news. It's not so challenging in terms of public speaking. But then Saturday really, really lifts things up, because the sun in Sagittarius is very optimistic and it's focused on you and your growth and your fun. So the sun goes into that sign at 8:41 in the evening. Venus, the planet of love and beauty, enters Scorpio. So as positive and light as the sun is in Sagittarius, and it takes a kind of step towards the light and the positive side of things, Venus in Scorpio really connects you with the darkest and most difficult things that you've ever experienced in your love life. It also really gives you this amazing ability to really get to know someone. And those two go hand in hand. If you want to get to know someone, you've got to take the good with the bad. There's no, oh, just speak nice things and never look at anything difficult. That's not how you get to know someone. It's really facing everything about yourself and another person. And that's how you can really appreciate someone for the whole being that they are, not to just partition someone into, oh, that's negative, that's positive. I'm only going to focus on the good stuff. It's kind of a side thought, this, but in friendships and things like that, where people are like, oh, you can only speak positivity and you can't ever say anything negative. I mean, you may disagree with me, but I don't feel like those are genuine friendships. Like if you have a friend and I don't know, let's say something really awkward, like they don't look after their hygiene, okay? And you're their friend, you're not doing them a service by saying, oh, you look and smell fabulous today. I mean, you're not helping them. They'll go for a job interview and the guy interviewing will be like, okay, this office is a little bit musty. Let's call this, You'd be a much better friend. I mean, they wouldn't appreciate it, but if you look at it in real terms, by being negative and say, hey, actually, you may want to consider taking a shower once in a while. I mean, it's not positive, but it's true and it's real. And if they actually take that in and do something about it because they didn't realize themselves, then that is something positive. And in my opinion, that's a real friend. I don't want people who are just like, yes, 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 great. I want honesty. And with the Sun in Sag and Venus in Scorpio, you find a nice balance between the ups and the downs, and you can be really real. The Moon enters Pisces, so you're super sensitive at the same time. And it trines Venus in Scorpio, so wow, love, 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 and feelings. And it squares the Sun in Sagittarius. So this is nice. This is like feelings and hopes and dreams for the future, and the best is yet to come, and all of those good things. The interest in adventure, exercise, socializing, travel, all of that you experienced earlier in the week when the Moon was in Sagittarius, that kind of returns now on Saturday, and it all becomes heightened. Obviously, things like travel and socializing are things you'll have to manage if you're in this country, for example. If you're elsewhere in the world and you have more freedom, then really make some time to enjoy the day and to enjoy your ability to move around and to connect with other people. And whether you decide to go outside, or whether you decide to do it on Zoom, or whether you decide to travel in person or on a spiritual, intellectual sense, again, no one is going to have the answers for you. It's something that you need to decide for yourself. I think the main thing to take from Saturday is that it's really a breath of fresh air where you can let your hair down and just and enjoy yourself and relax. Have some fun in the sun. The Venus shift may bring up some painful memories from the past about your love life, or an ex may even pop into your life again and say, hey, do you want to give this another try? It's the first day of a new balance in the chart, unlike anything that we've seen in the week so far. So Monday up, Tuesday challenging, Wednesday good, Thursday discipline. It's been up and down, up and down. Saturday now, with the Venus kind of insight and the Scorpio optimism, you kind of reach a plateau where you just, for the first time, it's like a safe harbor. It's like, oh, I can take a break finally. So that in itself should give you a bit of a relief on Saturday. It's like you have a breather. And coupled with the optimistic view you have of yourself and the deeper understanding of your circumstances and your experience, really gives you another boost and a certainty that you can work through your difficulties, you can overcome the things that challenge you, and that not everything has to be sunny and positive and wonderful all the time for it to be valuable and for it to matter. So if you're the friend who's being told that your hygiene is lacking and that you need to take a shower once in a while, if you are usually going to be super offended by that kind of thing, it's much more likely that you'll appreciate that in a certain way. And you'll appreciate your friend for being honest. So I think it's a good day for honesty. And I think it's a good time to contemplate, who in your life is there when things are bad and who's only there when you can be positive. I mean, didn't we call those people fair weather friends? Like when everything's wonderful and great, they're around. But then when you say one negative thing, it's like, oh no, too much, bye. And I think you can take that a little bit this week at least as a measuring stick. Is this person someone who absolutely accepts me as the person I am? Or is this someone who is only willing to see one side of me or two sides of me? And remember, what did Carrie Fisher say? I'm not a box, I don't have sides. If you're not going to accept the whole package deal, then you don't get the sunny side. If you don't take the rainy side. Okay, I think you get it. And also, it's a good thing to realize that someone who has the courage to actually come to you and say something like that, it's not fun for the other person to say, you need to take a shower, because they're at risk of losing your friendship. And it's likely that if you're on the receiving end of that, that you'll actually say, hey, that took some courage to come to me and say that, and they're just saying it to help me. It's an iffy kind of subject, and people take these things wrong all the time because it is so subjective and tentative. So only you can decide the way the whole week, only you can decide what is right for you. I just think it's important to try and not take things the wrong way this week, and to try and not be overly dramatic for the sake of it. And that's no judgment, that's coming from me. Okay, Sunday the 22nd of November, we've got the moon going into Pisces at 7 minutes past 4 in the morning. The moon in Pisces is very placid, and it's focused on the unmanifest and what you're feeling and what the universe wants for you and what's best for everyone else, and what the real truth is, you know, the spiritual truth of things. This moon then also forms a trine with Venus and Scorpio. So we've got two water connections here, Pisces water, Scorpio water. And the moon, the way you feel, and Venus, the planet of love, really makes you, it's like a rainbow appearing on Sunday. It allows you to see the wonders and the beauty and the love. And it's like, you know, like when certain kids at school who have dyslexia, when they read things, it's often very difficult. And what eases that sometimes for certain kids is putting pieces of colored laminate over the actual letters. So like a see-through yellow sheet or a see-through purple sheet. And for some kids, having that color there stops the letters jumbling up so much, and it makes it easier for them to read. So it's the same sheet of paper, but because the color has been added, that person's perception and ability to make sense of things changes, okay? And on Sunday, because you have the Pisces-Venus connection, your ability to see all the good stuff. Why is Shamu the whale coming into my head? So the wonders of nature, the love of family units, the beauty of being in a romantic situation, or the gratitude of a kind gesture, all of that is heightened, and you see it very easily and very clearly. And the Pisces moon sextiles Uranus and Taurus. So this perception of things can change your circumstances. Mercury in Scorpio, you're connected to what you're feeling in earnest. So again, it's not just this box with one side. I'm a complete rounded human being. And that quincunxes Mars in Aries, so the motivation is still there. So this is really interesting, because this is, I think, in a very, very intense week. Sunday the 22nd is going to be the most intense day of the week. And it's either going to be intensely wonderful for new relationships and connecting to other human beings in a meaningful way, especially if your focus is on the future and letting go of the past. However, and this is the big warning, if you're trying to fix or amend the past, so with the ex coming back earlier in the week, this could kind of culminate now in you on Sunday saying, okay, I'm invested in this too. Let's try and sort out the past and rewrite history and recreate this. First of all, it's not going to work. And because of that, you may get resentful and then feel hard done by that things don't work out for you and they work out for everyone else. And those negative thoughts can kind of compound and go round and round and round, and then they can put you in victim mode. Poor me. Only I suffer, no one else suffers. And you're not a victim. None of us are victims, okay? If you're still on the planet, you're a survivor. We're survivors, okay? We don't need to let things get us down. We're bigger than our circumstances. We're bigger than the things that happen to us. We're spiritual beings, and we don't need to take things as defining. Yeah. You don't need to let anything define you other than you're a spiritual being having a human experience. So that's what I get for you this week. It's not the easiest week in the world, but it certainly is an amazing week where you can really transform things. So if you've had a hard time, then you might as well not own up to it, but you may as well look at it and say, these are the challenges that I've got. Instead of letting them just kind of go round and round, I'm going to see how I can use those to get practical and to do something for myself, which is going to build self-esteem, which is going to open a new future, which is going to give me a sense of I can change A, B, and C, and then D will happen. And that's something I look forward to. And we all need something to look forward to. So if you've got no plans for the future, or you feel like, we're at such a low point and things are never going to look up, you'll really find that you get this motivation and you reconnect with the future, and that you naturally start to plan for it. And don't resist that, embrace it, and particularly apply it to your finances, your work, and your skills, your skill set. That's where you can make the most progress. Plus, we've got opportunities for love and romance to come in. So really, it's like life. It's not easy, but great treasures and opportunities lie within all of that uneasiness. So be present and engage with everything so that you can experience the good as well as the bad. So I hope you have a wonderful week. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. When you go to the website, once you're there, on the front page, you'll see my lovely face. And then under that, it says book your reading. So if you just click on that, you can order your reading with me. And I use astrology in my readings. And to draw up your chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. Having those three pieces of information allows me to draw up a chart. Like the chart, I made the video on the new moon in Scorpio yesterday, and I put the chart up next to me so you can see it. So if you don't know what an astrology chart looks like, have a look at the video on the new moon in Scorpio on the 15th of November. You'll see what it looks like. It's a wheel, and that's exactly what I look at in your readings. So that wheel shows me everything about you, your soul purpose, your talents when it comes to work, where to live, what's likely to happen in money and health and relationships and friendships and work. And I can answer any questions that you have. So if you have any questions that you'd like me to look at, then please do get in touch by my website, gregoryscott.com. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. I hope you have an amazing week. Check out some of my other videos, the daily tarot readings, the Scorpio video I just mentioned, and all the other things that I've got on the channel. Have a wonderful couple of days, and I'll speak to you soon.